All right, welcome back, wrestling fans, to GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room, our weekly wrestling podcast. Joined today by Tony Gonzalez, like usual. Uh, how you doing today? That's been a good week of wrestling.
Yeah, pretty good.
Uh, I really enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I didn't get to watch all. I haven't seen all of NXT or all of AEW yet, but I've seen pretty much all of Raw,
Yeah,
and I really thought Raw was a good show this week.
yeah, I liked Raw. I thought it was pretty good. I think they're still building characters and setting things up. Which I mean, not that it was a bad show. I liked it. I thought it was a good show, but not every show is going to be an A because you got to have you got to develop stuff and they're getting things set up for. I think it's the 8th is when the next
Yeah,
premium live event is. They don't call them pay per views anymore. The WrestleMania Backlash, so they're getting things set up for it. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. Enjoyed the Randy Orton 20-year celebration. Uh, thought that was good. Uh, uh, they keep highlighting Cody Rhodes 2 or 3 times during the show. I think I've seen commercials showing him as kind of the main guy for Raw. It looks like so. Looks like that's who they're kind of going with to be the flag bearer for Raw. Um, yeah, I thought it was a good show. The Bianca Belair, Sonya Deville thing, they're just trying to build a story there. It looks like they're going to build a little bit of a story there because Asuka came back and confronted Becky Lynch. So it looks like they're going in that direction there. I like the thing they did, kind of typical for Raw. They had the arm wrestling contest with Lashley and Omos. You knew that Lashley was probably looked like he was going to win, and then Omos was going to beat the crap out of him. So that's kind of usual. They're moving forward with the Damian Priest and Edge stuff. I'm liking it. I'm anxious to see who they're going to add to it and where they're going to go with it. The only downside of that, I'm kind of frustrated with Finn Balor. Uh, doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Where I'm hoping they go with Finn Balor is to tag team with AJ Styles, or at least help AJ Styles in this battle with Edge and them. I think that could be interesting. So we'll see. Probably the big thing on probably the best match on the show was the RK Bro and Cody Rhodes and Ezekiel against the Usos, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. That was a real strong match. A lot of storytelling. Oh, also Mustafa Ali came back and got a big win over the Miz, and then after the match got attacked by Ciampa, and so like I said, a lot of storytelling, a lot of building. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I thought it was a good solid show.
yeah. So I thought it was a solid show. I like what they're doing with Edge and Priest, and the birthday celebration thing with the Orton and Riddle and them was I really enjoyed it. Uh, so yeah, I like what they're doing right now.
Yeah, a lot of people upset because it looked like it was going to be Orton and Riddle against oh against the Usos. What it kind of looked like for the belts at probably Backlash. Well, last night on I guess on SmackDown they changed that. Now it's going to be a 6 man, and it's going to be the Usos and Roman Reigns against RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. And I think one of the reasons is Randy Orton and the RK Bro thing is so hot right now. They don't want to break them up. I mean, I think they want to go that direction and have a major feud, but I think they're just so hot and they're selling so much merchandise, and I don't think they want to break them up. So I think plans have changed a little bit with that.
What do you think about Ezekiel?
I I like it because I think the other character that he was playing got stale, and not because all his fault, because a lot of the creative was stop and start with him, and I think people got tired of it. But I don't know who he's supposed to be because he comes out in those trunks and then he's got the armbands on and he's doing a lot of muscle stuff. So it's not comparing him to the Ultimate Warrior, but it's kind of like a little bit of a tribute to Ultimate Warrior in a way. So I don't know where they're going, but the fans are liking him. So I mean, it seems like it's working at this point. So
Yeah. I just want to see where they're going to go with it.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think he's going to feud with Owens for a while. So and working with Owens is always, always a good thing. I think so. He's one of the best there is. So in the
Yep.
ring and storytelling. So I think hopefully it works out for Ezekiel. I think he deserves a shot because there's just been too much stop and start with him.
What did you think of the Belair and Deville match? I didn't think it was terrible, but I don't know. I was expecting more from it than
Well, they did a lot of shenanigans and a lot of different stuff.
it could have
I
been
thought
put together a little better.
well, I thought it was going to be a one-off. So because I thought they was going to go back to Becky Lynch. Well, don't look like they're going to do that. So maybe they did this to kind of prolong it and build the story, and they'll probably either at the at Backlash or later on down the road have a bigger match with more of a match because there wasn't a whole lot of match there. I mean, she got counted out, lost. She got disqualified, lost, and then she finally got pinned. So I don't know exactly where they're going, but I, we'll see. I think Deville's not going to be in. I wouldn't think that she'll stay in that management role. She's going to come back to wrestling, so we'll see. And is she forming a stable? I mean, she's kind of working with a couple other wrestlers, so I don't know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that because Belair, I really enjoy watching her wrestle. That wasn't one of my favorite matches at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
It was glad to see. It was nice to see Asuka back though.
yeah. I'd like to see the old Oscar though. I'd like to see instead of and I know Vince likes her dancing around and doing that stuff, but I liked it when she was undefeated and just to kill her in the ring. I wish they kind of would go back to that, but you know, uh, Vince's vision's not always the vision of the fans, and so we'll see where it goes.
All right, we'll go to what's the next one? NXT.
NXT was the next one. NXT wasn't bad. It was an interesting show. A lot of building, mainly for this what you got coming up on Tuesday, NXT Spring Breaking. So basically building for that, and also some other interesting news came out yesterday on NXT. I figured at the end we'd go through that towards the end of the show, but the one big bright spot on NXT, and it looks like they're really building her, is Roxanne Perez. Uh, she's formerly Roxy from Ring of Honor. She was the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and she left there, and now it's time with the WWE. And she's only been signed for about a month, and they've already put her in a match, beating one of the tag team champions. She had a match against Mandy Rose, which she barely lost. So they're really building her, and the fans are 100% behind her already. The only thing I'm concerned with is with Vince. She's not real big. She's not huge. I mean, not that all the women are huge, but she's not real tall, and that's hurt some of his women wrestlers sometimes. I don't know, but they're building her. This show had a lot to do with the women. Uh, Cora Jade, Nikita Lyons, Last Legend, they were all featured on the show. So they're really they're getting ready to do a breakout tournament for the women here in a couple weeks. All new women ain't hardly been on TV, so they're really pushing the women's division. So and WWE with all the talent they got in NXT and on the main roster, definitely got the best women's division in wrestling. I think. I don't even think it's close, but I know some people might argue that, but Nikita Lyons, I thought was getting better and better. She's not bad on the mic. People go crazy on her looks. She's got kind of a thick look, and everybody loves her. Last Legend, I think, got off to a rocky start. I think they debuted her too soon. She's getting better slowly in the ring. She's a former basketball player, played in the WNBA. She's got good size. I think she could be a star, but I think they got to go a little slower with her maybe than Nikita Lyons because Nikita Lyons have background and martial arts and things. So I think it comes a little bit more natural to her. But it was a good show. But this spring break, and we can go through it. What they got coming up. The main event's going to be Braun Breaker against Joe Gacy. They're really building Gacy up. I've not been crazy about some of the storylines, some of the things that they try to do. I didn't think quite work. But Gacy is good in the ring, and I think it'll be a good match with Breaker and him. Probably the match I'm looking forward to the most is the North American Championship with Grimes, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes in a triple threat match. I think that's going to be probably the match of the night. I think it should be really good. Again, going about how they're featuring the women, they got Natalya and Last Legend tag teaming together against Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons. So Legend and Lyons are getting their first opportunity to be on a bigger show, even though it's just a TV show, not really a pay-per-view, but they're getting that big spot. So they're definitely moving up the card, and that should be interesting. A match that I think is going to be really interesting is the Creed brothers taking on the Viking Raiders. You know, they're bringing down the Viking Raiders down to work with the Creed brothers. So I think that's a good thing. And then another match I think will be really good on the show is Grayson Waller taking on Nathan Frazier. You might be familiar with him because you've watched some UK, but he just debuted from the UK, NXT UK. High flyer, real exciting, really quick. So I think that'll be a good match. So NXT was a decent show. I didn't think it was as good as Raw, but it was decent.
You know, excuse me. What I've seen of it, I've liked. I've seen a lot of people hating on the internet. People giving it a D.
Really, yeah.
Mm.
Well, there's it's weird. I look at the Bleacher Report a lot. And of course, I don't think it's fair because I don't think they're unbiased because when AEW puts out pay-per-views, it is shown on Bleacher Report shows it. They put it out. And so about every match for them is A and B, and then you look at NXT or WWE shows, everything's C's and D's. So I don't think that they're unbiased. Like the Nikita Lyons Last Legend match, I thought they worked hard. I thought it was a decent match. Did I think it was an A? No, they give it a D. It was far from a D. I mean, to me, it was close to a B. I would say probably a C plus. Both women are getting better in the ring, and I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah. All
I,
right.
I
Go
thought it was
ahead.
decent. I thought it was decent.
Yeah, I think next week's show is going to be that spring break, and I think it'll be a real good show.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing. I mean, people can say whatever, but I mean, I think NXT is kind of AAA, trying to get people ready for the next level, and they're building people up and giving them opportunity. And just like I said, we're going to talk here in a little bit about NXT and what happened yesterday. I mean, you're going to get opportunity, and if it don't work out, you may not be there. If they don't see you going to the next level, why? I mean, people can say different things. Well, that's terrible. They released them. Well, if they're not working out, I think it's best to be released, and then you can try something else with another company or what. Why stay there if it's not working?
Yeah.
If they, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I know people on the internet get upset because they do releases, but I don't think it's any different than everyday life
I'm
for
gonna say yeah, it sucks for anybody to lose their job. That's just part of business. I mean, that's in any business, not just the wrestling business. That's in any walk of life. I mean,
Yep.
you can have a job, you've been there forever, and you go in the next day, and they can tell you, "Hey, we don't need you anymore." So I mean, you just never know what's going to happen.
And because that person gets released doesn't mean that they're not a good performer. Well, just what the eyes that are looking at you may just not,
Yeah,
may not, you're not fitting what they wanted. Don't mean you're not going to fit what somebody else wants. And don't mean that they may be wrong, in their view of you. So, I mean, next,
and the WWE has shown if they're wrong and you prove them to be wrong, they'll sign you back.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Next up, AEW Dynamite. It was a pretty good show. It was close between Raw and that for my show of the week. There's still some stuff on Dynamite that I know that their hardcore fans like that I struggle with. But now the first match of the night, FTR Harwood and Cash Wheeler had a match against each other, and it was a real good match. I mean, it was kind of an ode to Bret Hart. The really big Bret Hart fans. The trunks they wore were kind of a tribute to Bret Hart and the Hart family, maybe Owen Hart and stuff. And the match was they used a lot of the moves and a lot of the psychology that Bret Hart and the Hart family would use. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Next up, they had Wardlow against Lance Archer. They're making Wardlow look really good. I don't understand how they would use Lance Archer. You got a beast like that, and every time he's in a big match, he loses. You know, I mean, he wrestles on dark and he beats nobodies, and then they put him up against somebody good and he loses every time. If he would win some of them matches, that booking don't make sense to me. I mean, the Wardlow winning makes sense, but how they do with Lance Archer don't make sense to me. They had a Philly Street Fight women's match. Hikaru Shida against Serena Deeb. It was a little messy and sloppy. Serena Deeb's really good. I think she is the one that should be going after the women's title now. Next, she just kind of fell. I mean, she was their champion for about a year. You know, you can't stay on top forever. I think she's a pretty good performer. I think it hurts that she don't speak English a lot, you know, real well. But it was a solid match. I mean, it was decent. This is where probably AEW fans will get mad at me. They had a ladder match, and I think they're doing way too many ladder matches. It seems like every show, not every, see, at least once a month they have a ladder match on TV or one of their main shows, and I don't quite understand that. Scorpio Sky against Sammy Guevara. Guevara just won the belt. They've really been flip-flopping this belt over the last few months with different guys. Sky had it. Guevara won it from him. And now a week later, Sky wins, or 2 weeks later, Sky wins it back. Guevara is, I don't know. Do I think he could be talented? Do I think he's talented? Yes. I don't think he's real good on the mic, but I don't think he's going to be around very long. I don't know if you've seen the movie He tried off top of the ladder, he tried to do a corkscrew flip off of the ladder onto Scorpio Sky. And I think he slipped. He got nowhere close to Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky tried his best to get to him, and he just pretty much went from the top of the ladder, how high that ladder is, 15, 20 feet, whatever, straight down and pretty much landed on his head. You know, I think Sky may have got a little bit enough of him to help the fall a little bit, but he's a danger to himself and to other people. He's hurt other people. He one time picked up the wrong chair and threw it at somebody, hit him in the head, and cut them open. I think it was Matt Hardy, and then another match, him and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy hit his head on the cement. I think Hardy stays away from Guevara now. He ain't had much luck with him, but and of course Scorpio Sky did win the match and won the TNT title, but I don't know if it's good for the titles to flip flop a lot. I mean, some people say, you know, if title changes means a lot. Well, if that happens all the time, I don't know if it does. So.
Yeah.
But
And Guevara, to me, he's so inconsistent.
it's to
There's
him.
times I watch him and I say, okay, he's improving, and then I watch him maybe the next week, and it's like, no, he's going the other way. He's not consistent at all. I don't.
It's just AEW Dynamite has some really good performers, but they're too much worried about the pop. I want to see selling. I want to see good in ring action, which they do pretty good in ring action. I mean, that's one of the things with WWE. When they have in ring action, it's really good. But then sometimes the matches are too short and not enough in ring action for me with WWE. That's one complaint I have with WWE. AEW gives you more action, but sometimes all the action just don't. I mean, when you get 2,000, not 2,000, but I mean, super kicks and nobody's selling anything, it just don't mean a whole lot to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Dax Harwood match and the Cash Wheeler match. It was a good match, but they're going to stay a tag team. I don't see them splitting them up. I know it was a qualifier for the Owen Hart tournament. It really didn't mean anything. Just like right now, what they're doing with Daniel Bryan and William. I think they've built up that Yuta, but and also Moxley. They're building them up, but they're wrestling guys that no way going to beat them, and they're destroying them. I just don't. I'm not. I mean, I think that story could be really good. I think it could be better than what it is. I think the best story they got going on right now is Wardlow, and going after MJF. I think that's the best story they got. I know the show may got hurt a little bit this week. I know they planned on Hangman Page being there. I think there was some COVID issues there, so that kind of changed things a little bit. There probably would have been a little bit more there, but I thought it was a good show. But I don't know.
Paige gonna wrestle Punk next.
I think that their pay per view coming up here in a few weeks, that's going to be the main event, I think. But it was a decent show. It was right there. I thought it was a little better than NXT. It was close between that and Raw. Kind of a coin toss. It was close. I might give AEW a slight edge, but it was really close. It could have been a tie, but I mean, it was decent. None of the 3 shows I watched just blew my socks off this week. I mean, but
Like I said, my favorite this week was Raw, but to be fair, I haven't seen all of AEW Dynamite yet, so I have to watch that ladder match and a couple other matches. But
yeah.
from what I saw, I liked Raw a little better. But I would agree, it wasn't like Raw wasn't a great show either by any means, but it was a solid show.
Yeah. I think the pay per view they're going to do on the 8th is going to be pretty good. So I mean, I'm interested in it.
The NXT, they just got so much going on, and I really don't know what direction they're going. So it's a little weird right now.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. It came down yesterday. The NXT released some wrestlers, and I've been doing some reading and found out some stuff that makes sense. Dakota Kai got released. Malcolm Bevins, the manager of the Diamond Mine. Parker Bordeaux, who played the character Harlan, that they thought a lot of people hyped him up to be the next Brock Lesnar. He got released. Dexter Lumis got released. Persia Pirotta got released, and then 5 more who'd never really been on TV. So, but then some research I did. Dakota Kai got some tryouts on dark matches on SmackDown and Raw, and I guess she was pretty much told that her contract was still good for another year. It wasn't going to run out to April 2023. But she was pretty well told. I guess Vince didn't think she was good enough to be on the main show. So she told him, well, then I'm not resigning. I'm not staying in NXT. I mean, I'll finish out my contract, whatever, but I'm not resigning if I'm not going to go, move up. So they went ahead and released her. They liked Malcolm Bevins. They wanted to keep him. His contract was getting ready to come up here in a few months. And he told him, boy, I'm not.
Huh?
Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a call coming in. Sorry about that. But
so, well, repeat what you just said because it got cut off.
Okay, Malcolm Bevins was going to basically told him he wasn't going to stay around, and so they went ahead and released him. I think he was really big in Ring of Honor. That's where he came from. His a manager and stuff, and I think he'll probably end up in AEW. That's what I think is going to happen, or with the Ring of Honor, which is owned by AEW, one of the two, because he wasn't going to stay. I think the character Harlan, Parker Bordeaux, just wasn't picking it up in the ring. I mean, he came in the same time as Steiner, and you see where Steiner's at. Of course, to be fair, Steiner's been around his uncle and his dad his whole life, and probably had worked out and been in the rings before, where Bordeaux hadn't been. He just wasn't showing anything. Of course, he's saying it's, they shaved his head, they did this stuff, and he's kind of blaming them. And some of that may be true, but I don't think they've seen it in the ring from him. Persia Pirotta, I thought she was decent in the ring. I mean, I thought she was decent. I mean, I didn't think she was great, but I thought she was getting better. But evidently they didn't see it. And I just seen that she posted on the internet and thanked everybody, and said that hopefully, she can get out in independence and make a name for herself. So we'll see. Dexter Lumis, I love Dexter Lumis. I liked the character. I thought it was different. hope he catches on somewhere. He came from Impact. Maybe he can get back, to Impact Wrestling. I think he might be a good fit for a couple of things they got over there in Impact. So
I'm surprised they released Loomis. I would think Loomis would be a guy that Vince would like.
I guess he didn't see it. I mean, who knows what's in Vince's mind? And to be fair, you've got 100 wrestlers on your roster, 100 wrestlers, or maybe probably more, and you got to look at all these people, and you got to find spots for them. We just had to talk with a promoter the other day, and he has not near that many wrestlers to work with, and trying to find spots for them and make everybody happy, and it's difficult to do. And see, I think that's a good thing, though. I mean, if and I know they're going to say, well, they were signed to a contract, and you should honor the contract. If it's not going to work out there, and you're not going to be used, I think these people would rather have the opportunity to go somewhere else and try to make a name for themselves and be used. Just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I agree. I mean, nobody wants to be stuck in any kind of job if you don't think there's a chance for advancement. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I like the fact that and the other thing, they're signing more people all the time. So the next group coming up, maybe they think, hey, we got to make spots. These are people we're not going to use. They're not going to be good enough to move up. Dakota Kai could go over to Impact and be one of the best wrestlers on Impact. Dakota Kai is probably better than most of the women on AEW right now.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I mean, they didn't see it in her. I don't agree with Vince, but Vince don't care what I think. So I mean,
It has to be her size. That's what it has to be.
she's different. She's got a different look, but I think she's pretty good in the ring. Her style's a little different too, but I think and yeah, I don't want every style to be the same. I want some different styles. So I don't know. They don't. I'm not gonna say it makes sense to me. All the decisions they make, they don't. But it's hard to argue when people would probably argue this, which I don't think there's any argument to it. WWE is bigger than they've ever been worldwide. They're huger than they've ever been. They're making more money than they've ever made. So Vince is going to think that, hey, what I'm doing is working. So, and I don't think you can argue with him. So
No, no, they just keep growing and growing and growing.
Yep. The other thing I want to talk about, I talked to you last night on the phone, so we've heard a lot about this independent wrestler, Billie Starkz, and I got online and watched a couple matches last night. And I'll be honest with you, Chris, if you haven't yet, you need to check it out. And all the fans out there, look, get on YouTube and check out Billie Starkz. This girl's like 16, 17 years old, still in high school. She's traveling around the country wrestling, and she's phenomenal. She could wrestle on AEW right now and be maybe at the top or right there, one or two. Impact Wrestling, same thing in my opinion. NXT, she could go right to the top, and I would think in a year's time she could be on WWE and be almost top of the card in a year or two. She's that good. I mean, I was really impressed with the moves that she does, and you can tell that she has studied a lot and is learning psychology too. But her move set is really good, and she's for the women. Sometimes you've noticed this too, Chris, especially going to independence. They seem like they move a little slower and not quite as fluid sometimes. This girl is completely fluent and her moves to move really good. I was really blown away.
Oh, on the match you watched, what promotion was it? You remember? Was it? I mean,
It wasn't a huge promotion. This match I watched was out of Houston, but I know I think she's wrestled on Booker T's promotion. I think he's in Houston, but I don't think it was that promotion. I know she's been on Booker T podcast. Um, I know she's wrestled on Game Changer Wrestling some. Uh, uh, she's
I do
doing
know.
really,
I do
really
know
well.
that she. I haven't got to see her wrestle live yet. She was actually in Jeffersonville, Indiana, just a couple weeks ago. Wrestled Rachel Armstrong.
Yep.
It was during the week and we weren't able to go, but I've heard a lot about her. But I do know she did train a lot here in the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I mean, just knowing who she was, helped her train a lot right there. I was like, oh, she's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. We know.
I'm excited to get a chance to. I'm gonna watch that video you're talking about. But I'm excited to get a chance, hopefully, to get to see her wrestle live in
Yeah,
person because I've heard a lot about her. And only being 16 years old, just think here in 3 4 years where she's going to be.
I think she started when she was 13. I believe that's what they said. So she's been wrestling for 4 years, which is a pretty good amount, but to only be 16. And she's been on a lot of, I haven't watched it. I'm going to hear in a little bit. I'm going to watch one of the podcasts, maybe Booker T's, and hear, what she has to say and stuff and take a gauge of that. But I was really impressed by her in-ring stuff. I thought she was really good. And she's wrestled a lot of guys. There's a match on there. I didn't watch it. It's the young guy. It's like 16. She's got a match on there with about 15, 16, 17 minutes long. I didn't watch it yet. I can't remember his name, but he's already been signed by AEW. I think he's signed, but they're not going to use him yet because they just got him. He's at school, but he's wrestled on Game Changer in some places, and he's supposed to be really good. So I know they've got a match on there together. So I'm gonna try to check it out. Yeah, I think all the fans should check her out. I think they would be highly entertained, and I think she's going to be a name that people's going to hear a lot about.
Yeah, like I said, I've heard a lot about her. I'm looking forward to watching that. I'm gonna watch that video probably after we get done recording this. But I definitely want to get the chance to see her live.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've heard a lot. But like I said, when I found out who she used to train with and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna be be good.
And they say she's working hard and she's got a pretty good mindset, of what's important and get your schooling. That's but seems like she's on the right track. So, I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that if AEW don't try to go ahead and sign her, to keep her from WWE because WWE. I don't think WWE was signing her while she was 16. I mean, I could be wrong, but I guarantee as soon as she graduates and if she decides she wants to go straight into wrestling and not go to college, WWE is going to be looking at her. They're going to be knocking on her door. There's no doubt in my mind. Because I guarantee you they're aware of her. Because if Booker T's aware of her,
oh yeah,
they're aware of her. Because Booker T scouts for him and stuff. So.
And Booker T's brought WWE some good talent, so they're going to listen to him.
He trained at Roxy. Yeah, that's where she got a lot of her training at, and so I think she's going to be really good. So yeah, I hope all the fans go out there and check that out. I heard a lot about her, and we got home last night, and I said I'm gonna look up some videos and watch some of them. So I did.
Yeah, because I think we talked about her a little bit in that interview yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
If you haven't checked that interview out, go check it out. It's on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch pages. We done an interview yesterday live at the Dub with the chairman Joey Owens. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty interesting. Some of the stuff that we found out.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Learned some stuff I didn't know.
Yep. And then we got to watch a real good show afterwards. Which yep. I think we're going to maybe sometime next week do a live review of that. So, yeah, I
think we'll probably shoot. I figured just shoot and try to do it like we did last week. We done the recap of the Central, and we done it live at like 5:00 on Monday.
Yep.
We'll just do the same thing for this week, and I'll make a graphic about it. We'll do it like we did last week before we do the DCCW
Coondog Corner.
Coondog Corner on Monday.
Okay, that sounds good to me. That's pretty much all I got. Anything else you want to talk about? I got.
No, not really. Oh well, we do got some independent shows that'll be coming up. We got
we're gonna say that.
We got the Mother May I Summit Pro on May 8th on Mother's Day. All mothers get in for free to that event, and they keep releasing the matches. It's going to be a good card.
It's going to be really good. It should be a really good show. It's at a real good place there in. I get confused. It's in Greenfield.
Yep,
I get
on
I
fairgrounds.
confuse I confuse Shelbyville and Greenfield all the time. It's in Greenfield, uh, and it's got a real nice facility. Tickets are only $10. If I remember right, Chris, the doors open at 3,
Yes. Yep.
4,
Doors open at 3. Bell times at 4.
4, and like I said, $10 general admission. All mothers get in free that day, and it's going to be It's going to be a huge show. It's going to be really good. I think it's kind of their first part of their. They've just started their show, and this is their 6, 7 big show, and I think this is kind of their blow off show, and then they're going to, I won't say reset, but go into the next segment. They're kind of doing their shows in blocks
Yeah.
and storylines and different things. So kind of interesting concept. Uh, I think the camps, the promoters there do a really good job, and every show we've been to, we've liked. One show on there that we went to, uh, probably right now would be probably, I know, top 5 of the best shows we've seen this year, maybe top 3. And I know they've had some matches on there that are probably in top 5 of match of the year for as far as me and you're concerned. So
Oh yeah.
some really good matches, and yeah, I hope the fans. It's not that Greenfield's not that far, 45 minutes an hour, not a bad drive. So hopefully fans will go out there and check that out.
And then after that, we have the DCCW Invasion 3 on May 14th.
Yeah,
That's in Portland, Indiana. It's a fundraiser for the J County wrestling team.
and speaking of that, you might go ahead and plug what you got. Is it Wednesday? The
Oh yeah, the
Wings.
4th.
Yeah, May
Yep.
4th.
May 4th at the Wings and Rings will be live from. I think I said the thing is from 5 to 9. We'll be live from 6 to 8.
And you'll be there from 6 to 8, and it's a fundraiser for the J
Mm.
County wrestling team. Good cause. I know this is the third one that DCCW has done with them, fundraiser, the wrestling show, and Wings and Rings is a big sponsor for them, and hopefully people go out there and get some good food. I've ate there before; they've got real good food.
I do
So
know. I do know it's been announced that you'll be able to get Wings and Rings wings at the
right,
show on the 14th.
that shows the 14th. Bell time at 6. Show starts at 7.
No,
Uh,
doors open at 6.
Okay, what did I say? Okay,
Bell
doors open
time.
at 6. Okay, doors open at 6. Bell time at 7. Sorry about that. And then, if I remember right, I believe general admission is $10, and front row's 20. I don't know if they have any front row left, but you can get
Last I heard, there was limited front row left. Last I had heard.
and that's been about a week ago. So,
Yes.
I would say it's probably close to being gone.
And like always, DCCW has put together another great card. I mean, you have
Elijah
uh,
Burke.
the Pope Elijah Burke going to be there. You have Hollywood Haley Jade that's been on AEW and I believe OVW as well.
Yep,
I believe.
yep.
Uh,
Yeah, she was a champ at OVW.
and you have Thunder Kitty's going to be there.
Yep,
That's been that was announced just the other day.
yep.
So I mean, it's going to be. And that's not counting the regular people you usually see at DCCW, like the highlight reel, Jordan James, Jackson Morgan, all them guys. So it's going. It's going to be another great show.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show, and
I
I
do
mean,
know we're going to have some special guest on commentary that night. I do
yep,
know the director Hollywood House is going to be on. I
yep,
know
yep,
he's going to be on for sure, and then I know a lot of the other DCCW guys have talked to me about coming on some.
yep.
And I think old Big Brody Brotkins might be coming down
Yeah,
to do some commentary with us that night. So
yeah,
that'd be nice. It was nice to get to see him and out and moving a little bit.
yeah, he had a bad injury, broke his leg here a few weeks ago. So yeah,
Got
we
to
got to
talk
see
to him
him.
for a few minutes. He seemed in good spirits and seemed to be healing up well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back out there. He was another one of our favorites to watch. So
Yeah, he's a real big guy and a real good performer. Hopefully he can get back soon and get healthy. So yeah, I can't be at that show. I'm gonna be out of town in Chicago, but I know that you guys will do a good job with it, and I know all them guys have a lot of fun coming on commentary. So it's gonna be a great show. I know I'm gonna I'm gonna be busy, but as soon as I get a chance, I'll watch it. So
And then a week or two after that, we have the Warrior Pro, which we didn't get to go to the last one because of me being sick. But
yeah, that's May 22nd.
we're gonna be at the next one. Now, and they've every show we've been there has been a good show as well. So I mean that's pretty much the shows we have scheduled right now for the month of May.
Now,
But
one thing we
hey,
do have,
believe me, things can change quick. If somebody gives a hold of us, we might. I mean, we're always ready to add more.
yeah, and then I know one thing I'm excited about for June is we'll get to go back to Kokomo. I believe that's June 11th.
Yep.
That's a Saturday night. We'll be go back to Kokomo and do one of
Check
their
out
shows.
AACW.
Yep, I'm excited about that. And matter of fact, we'll go ahead and plug out. They got a show coming up in
May
in
14th.
May 14th at the same time at DCCW. Of course, if you're close to the Kokomo area, go check that out. I believe they're you can go to their page because I don't want to tell you wrong. I believe their doors open at 6:30 and the bell time's at 7. That sounds
That sounds right. But you can
sounds right.
find it AACW Old School Lives on Facebook.
Yep,
You can find the flyer on the Gonzo Sports Room page as well.
yep.
'Cause I've shared it and I'll reshare it to put it back up at the front as
Yeah,
well. But yeah, make sure you go support. Hey, the promoter for that promotion's a good guy.
yep,
Uh, and I mean, go support him. And they have some good talent there. You have the curator, the marvelous Mr. Bell, who is turning into one of the top manager personalities in Indiana.
yep,
Uh, I mean, they got some other, and who is it? Damien Deville.
yep,
He's been on Heroes, and he's actually I think a Heroes and Legend champion. I think one
yep,
of their champions. He's a AACW champion,
yep.
and he's a former MMA fighter that got into professional wrestling, and he's fun to watch. Good
Yeah,
striker.
yeah, really good.
We have Chris Chaos over there who's been on the show. I mean, so yeah, Christian Cash is over there. We
Yep,
got to see him. We saw him last night, but he also is a regular at the Kokomo show.
yep.
And Justin Terrell, them two tagged together, and you got the Gold Standard with Travis Southern and them. I mean, they got the Hawaiian Hitman's. The Hawaiian Hitman's a talent. I think if he gets around the right, if he puts himself around the right people, I think he could be a big star.
If he gets the right training, yeah, I think he could be really good. Really good. He's got the look. He's a big dude. He's got the amateur wrestling background. I think he could be really good. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's a really good. Kokomo does a really good old school wrestling show. If you like old school wrestling, go check out Kokomo. I think you'll like it.
They got a good fan base as well.
Yeah, real good
Real
fan base.
engaged crowd. We had a great time last time we were there.
Crazy crowd.
They're almost as crazy as the Jeffersonville crowd, like Mike King would say.
Jeffersonville crowd was pretty crazy too. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Mike just had a bad night though. I didn't have problems with Jeffersonville crowd. Mike had a problem with Jeffersonville kids.
Hey, I can't blame him. He got screwed over by those Jeffersonville kids.
He got low blowed and stunned.
Did we see the kid run somebody over with the wheelchair?
I had never seen that before.
Did we see a kid used as a weapon? It gave basically him a running drop kick.
Yeah, seeing a kid in a wheelchair in a last man standing match, get on top of the guy with the wheelchair so the guy can't move, and the guy loses the last man standing match. I've never seen that before in professional wrestling.
And the crowd was loving it. The place was going crazy. Just
Chris,
like when he took that kid and ran at him.
Hey, I want to ask you something. I'm sure this was set up. I mean, I'm 100% sure it was set up. But I want to see what you think because people on the internet was going crazy about it. It was a professional wrestling show, and there was a guy in a wheelchair, and a professional wrestler was come outside the ring, and he picks up the guy and takes him out of the wheelchair and puts him on the ground and gets in his wheelchair and takes off. And the guy on the ground starts crawling after him. And people on the internet was going nuts. This is horrible. It crosses the line. I'm sure
it has to be a work. It has to be a work.
I'm sure that they knew this was planned. He just didn't go pick the guy up and do that. I'm pretty sure that
I
all
wonder where I
parties.
thought you was going with. I thought you was going with he got the guy to fall out of his chair and then just like walked away or something.
Yeah,
Because I actually know somebody that's done that before. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm not gonna mention no names, but
yeah,
the but that has to be a work.
yeah, yeah. Fans were going a little crazy about it. I'm thinking,
Because
I'm sure.
what makes me think it's a work because if I was a promoter and that was no work and that started to happen,
Yeah.
to me, you would see the promoter or security or somebody, you know what I
Well,
mean? Say, oh no, 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 no.
the other
So,
thing is, none of the fans got up and tried to stop him. None of the fans went over and tried to help them. I mean, I would have thought that the dude's crawling on the ground. You would think they would come and help the
so
guy up.
well, that right there shows the fans thought it was a work.
Yeah. So,
You know what I mean?
yep.
See, to me, that wouldn't bother me though, because I know when I go to a show, I know it's just like watching a TV show. I mean, just because it happens there, don't mean that's how it is in real life. And people nowadays can't separate that. Just like going to a comedian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I go watch a comedian, I'm not taking nothing he says that's his beliefs. That's he's putting on a show for our entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, does he believe that? He might, but I don't. I go to watch the show and be entertained.
I would like some of these butt hurt people that are young, and most of them are younger, to watch Don Rickles and see some of Don Rickles act, the way he attacked everybody from if he was gay to Jewish to which he was Jewish himself, Mexicans, blacks, everybody. And this is the 1970s. And not only that, Chris, they did it on TV, on live TV on the Dean Martin roast. And but he was loved by everybody because I mean he was a real genuine guy, and it was just an act, and he thought it was good to laugh at yourself and just laugh, So
Yeah,
yeah, well,
people can't handle that stuff anymore. I don't.
not anymore. Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Don't forget we're live with our sports shows Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. for Easy Money. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern for Gonzo Sports Room. We do have some interviews coming up, so be on the lookout for the times and dates for that. I think we'll be doing some kind of watch along show for the next WWE pay per view. So I'll be putting out some more information about that soon. Like I said, go check out the interview with Joey Owens if you haven't seen that yet. You won't be disappointed.
You're real good. Real good.
We also have an interview on there with JB from just a week or two ago.
Yep.
That I thought was real good as well. Got the one from Hollywood House that I think was the week before that, which was a great interview. So we got three or four new interviews on there. If you haven't seen them yet, make sure you go. You can find all that stuff at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube. You can find the on Gonzo Wrestling Room on all the podcast platforms. So just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, check out the Bearcat Rumble on YouTube, and also we was talking about that Jeffersonville show. Check out that. What was the name of that again?
It was Flex for Bubba 2. It was a high octane championship wrestling is the promotion. But I got all the matches. Well, we have all the matches broke down in single matches on Facebook and YouTube. You can find the whole show on YouTube.
Yeah.
So go check. That was a good show. Go check it out.
Yeah, check out that Bearcat Rumble. It was great. So check that out.
All right, we will see you guys next Sunday for another episode of GWR.